Okay, so last session we discussed about some mathematical functions, how to handle them. We learned about these math object. Now I will give you one small task. You have to do that. So, but before that, some points I will tell you. So we need to discuss about JavaScript operators. With that, we can design the task. JavaScript operators. Technically, what is an operator and how to handle with operators, we'll see. So generally, in technical terms, operator is an object. Operator is an object that evaluates and that evaluates a value. Operator is an object that evaluates a value. Technically, if anyone asks what is an operator in computer programming, in computer programming, every operator is an object, and that object evaluates a value, means it returns a value. So depending on how many operands, that means operator comprises of operands that store data. Operator comprises of operands that store data. So that means, for example, so suppose x plus y. So here x and y are operands. X and y are operands and plus is operator. X and y are operands and plus is operator. So data is stored, value is stored in operands. So x contains some value, y contains some value. And what this operator do? It will do some work with the operands and it will return a value. So it evaluates value. Operator evaluates value by taking the data from operands. And very important is based on how many operands, based on how many operands an operator can handle. An operator can handle. The operators are classified into, based on how many operands an operator can handle, the operators are classified into following types. So you have unary operators. Unary operator means it can handle only one operand. It uses only one operand, then it is called unary. Only one operand means x plus plus, like minus minus y, like that. That means only one operand will be there. So plus plus is an operator and it will be working on only one operand. So then it is called unary operators. So we have binary operators. Binary operator is 2 operands. So 2, that means suppose x plus y, like x asterisk y, like that. This is binary. That means you will have two operands, one left operand, another right. That is multiple. So even you give x plus y plus z, there will be working only two. At a time, it will not calculate all three. You have general common sense of mathematics, right? That means x plus y, then y plus z. It will not be like all add at once. It is general thing. That is means every time it is binary only. Next, we have ternary operators. Ternary operator. Ternary operator, question mark, colon. That is ternary operator. It is a ternary operator. Actually, it have three values. We will have a condition. After that, question mark. So if true, and colon if false. That means here we have three operands. First operand is condition, second operand is value if true, third one is value if false. Three things. One contains condition, second contains the value if true and value if false. That is operand, right? So we have operators classified based on the number of operands. Later you will learn these operators uses, how to use. That is not the main point here. The point is to understand categories. Operators are classified into three types depending on number of operands they can handle. Another point is operators are again classified. Operators are again classified into various groups, based on the type of value, they return. That means what type of value they return. Based on that, operators are classified into different types. Actually, so based on the type of value they return. So we have operators, arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators, usually they return number. Arithmetic operators return a number. We have conditional operators. Conditional operators, they return Boolean. We have logical operators. Logical operators also return Boolean. So you have bitwise operators. These operators will return binary value. Bitwise operators return a binary value. And we have special operators. Inside them, so many we will learn. Special operators. Special operators vary in functionality. Means we'll have different functionalities. Predefined ready-made functionalities are present for special operators. Those are special operators. Right. So we have these operators. Means depending on what type of value they return. Arithmetic operators always return a number. Conditional operators, logical operators return Boolean. and binary bitwise and special operators. Special operators have different functionalities. So what are these operators and how to handle them? What are the various operators? Very important is different functionalities are there. So arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators, generally many operators you know, but technically you should know that. So we have plus. It is addition. Minus, this is subtraction. And asterisk, this is multiplication. Slash, this is division. Percentile, that is modulus, division. Modulus is for remainder value. And double asterisk, this is for exponent. Exponent. Plus plus, this is increment. Minus minus, this is decrement. These are arithmetic operators. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So technically, points are very simple. You may think that they are simple in general, but here some variations will be there when we are dealing with those values, which already I told you once. So there are some changes here. Actually, what is addition? What is the purpose of addition operator? What is the purpose of addition operator? It will add values. Huh? Addition operator, it finds the sum of values. That is technical answer. It finds the sum of values, right? That is general technical answer, right? It will add, fine. But the point, actual technical word is sum. It finds the sum of values. Point is here, why we have to discuss these simple operators also, because the evaluate value is little different, which will be special in JavaScript only. For example, addition operator, that means what it does, it returns the sum of given numbers. Given numbers, it returns the sum of given numbers. But here point is, it has so many things. Suppose we have a number plus number. What it will return? It will return a number. We have a number plus string. What it will return? It will return a string. We have a number plus boolean. What it will return? It will return a number. Because boolean true false are 0 1, na? Then result will be, suppose I said 10 plus true will be 11. That is the reason these values, they differ. Those general things you should know. Otherwise, you will get values miscalculated, right? That is important. Suppose we have so other options also I will tell you. So similarly, we have some string plus string. So this will return a string. And string plus number, it will return a string. String plus boolean, it will return string only. Anything with string is string. That is general thing. Suppose we have boolean plus string will return a string. We have boolean plus number. Boolean plus number will return a number. Boolean plus Boolean, it will return a number. All these are basic. These points we have to know. I told you that at MNC level interviews, in the exam that they conduct in the beginning before you go to system test, JavaScript questions, majority 80% JavaScript questions will be like they give a syntax and they ask what is output of this. They will give a syntax and say what is problem in this. So they will give an output and they will ask how to achieve this. All these things you have to perfect, and consequences also you should know very well. Otherwise it will get miscalculated. So these are very basic things. So these operators are very simple, but the value they evaluate is important to understand. That's the reason I have to just give an overview of that. So no need to show because already they are same. So I will just keep here operator.html. Now here we are defining script, and suppose var x equal to some 10, where y is equal to true. So document dot write x plus y. So obviously it will be a number. The result, it will display 11. These basic things we know. That means now if it is 10 and y is a, then usually it will display 10a. It's a string. Suppose if it is, so x is true and this is a, then it will return as true a. So suppose if it is, so here false, then it will return 1. Why? Because true is 0, 1, false is 0. These basic things we need to know the difference, because how they return the value, how they configure the value. These are general points, how to handle the operator and deal with it. Of course, conversions already I told you. So sometimes anyone may ask you, like, suppose 10 plus undefined will be how much? Undefined means the value is not defined, right? No need to give undefined. If you use y, it is undefined by default. If it is undefined and you are trying the value, it says not a number. It says not a number. So that means you define anything with undefined, then it is not a number. Suppose if it is true and undefined, if it is true and undefined, if it is true and undefined, you see it says not a number, because true also number only. Suppose I defined a and y, string and undefined. If a string is undefined, it says string and undefined, concatenation, string undefined. Anything with string will be string. That means what is the final result of this? This is a string only. It is combining the word undefined plus a undefined. So that means anything concatenating with string will be string. Anything else will be not a number, not a number. So that means here, so one simple note. So any operation with undefined will be NaN. Except string. Any operation with undefined will be NaN except string. That is a basic thing. Now here we have one more option, is, for example, So here A, and if it is null, Y is null, then X plus Y is how much? If it is null, then A null, because string means string only. Na? What about number? What is the meaning of null? Meaning of null is value is not supplied dynamically. That is the meaning of null. But here you are verifying it. In that case, if value is not supplied dynamically, it will take 0. Because it's a number type. We are defining with a number type. It will take 0. That means if value is not supplied dynamically. So that means here, if anyone asks like here, so any operation with null will return number except string again. String will return a string only. String always returns a string. Any operation with null will return number. Either it is a number operation or a Boolean operation will return a number. So that is basic here. The null and undefined options also. Yeah. Now, for example, here one interesting point is there. Suppose this is 10. And suppose I am giving here, so 20. What will be the result? Number and string. Number and string. Number and string. So then it will be string. That means it will be 10, 20. So this is general. Already we have that point here. Number and string will be string. String and number will be string. That's a general thing. So that is general option. But you will find difference in next level. We will see that. Initially, that is basic additions. So addition may look simple, but you will go wrong with several questions asked related to this in JavaScript. If you don't know the consequences. This is where people fail. I'm talking about MNC level interviews. In MNC level interviews only, so they give these kind of questions. I will share MNC level some questions with you in the classroom. So you can see their papers. These kind of questions very regularly will be there, along with some very complex things. But this is very common actually, because a developer should know all consequences of handling issue. One problem came means he should know all the surrounding consequences, how this problem may come, right? So if he knows how the problem comes, then he can find the solution for that. So the point is identifying the issue is important. For that, he should know all the consequences. Here you will see some difference now. Now that is addition, that's common. Next, subtraction operator, subtraction operator. What is the purpose of subtraction operator? What is the purpose of subtraction operator? Subtraction operator, subtract. Subtraction operator, it returns the difference value. The purpose of subtraction operator is to find the difference value. That is the purpose of subtraction operator. That means it returns the difference value. Difference value. Now, difference value here very important is suppose here I defined difference, 10 minus 5. The difference between x and y is how much? The difference between x and y is 5. So it is addition, subtraction, minus. It is 5. It will return it. The difference between that. Okay, difference between 10 and true, how much? 10 and true how much? 9. That means it will be 9. Difference between true and true how much? True and true difference will be 0 because both are equal. No? There is 0 difference between them because both are equal. So here the point is, suppose this is 10, this is 10, and suppose you have undefined, then anything with undefined is not a number. Anything with undefined is not a number. Suppose 10 minus a. Stringer. That means, can you find difference between number and stringer? Can you find difference between number and string? You cannot find difference between number and string. Then this result will be NA and all, not a number. That's the difference. You can't find difference between number and string. Suppose string and string. So string and string, you cannot find difference between string and string also, because this operator is to only find difference between numerical values. Numerical values, not string. Difference between string you will find by using match method. String functions are there, na? Equal string functions, match methods we use for handling them. So this operator is only for numbers. Anything else will return NaN. NaN. So that means, for example, now here see, suppose this is 10 and this is 20 and this is 10 as a string type. What do you say? Number and string, not a number. But see here, when I run this, it returns 10. What do you think? MNC people are silly people. Huh? That's why they give the questions like this. Right? That is the reason it's not easy to crack their interviews. Tests, you can't crack the tests. Even you think that JavaScript is simple, HTML is simple. Right? So you may think, but you will go wrong everywhere in every question. So that is what you have to learn perfectly. So because people think it's very simple, that's the reason many people come to learn Angular, React. They will say, I know little bit JavaScript, is it okay? What you are saying that I don't know proper JavaScript, but well, I'll develop an application which uses JavaScript. That's not great. But majority people come like that. Even experienced people say that I don't know complete JavaScript. Can I learn? Learn. You can learn anything. People learn artificial intelligence, but don't know that their caliber is not related to artificial intelligence. So, which is most trending course in Amirpet? Artificial intelligence. Come join. Join. Are you serious? You are going to crack artificial intelligence. For that, you need so much technical background. It's not like you join 2 months course and you learn artificial intelligence. They give a certificate, course completed. And you say that I learned artificial. It's not possible. So because market institutes, they bluff you. Because they just need money from you many times. Seriously, if they have to recommend, they will say that you see course like Python. Right now it's very trending. Everybody learning Python. Ask why you are learning. Trending, sir. It is trending. Where it is trending? There are no jobs in Python. No jobs. Directly on Python, no jobs. So you have to use Python with combination of data science. Then it's okay. That is also not for freshers, experience. That is the reason. The point here is, you may think that you know this, but actually internally so many other issues will be there. A real developer should know all the consequences behind a logic. Then he will survive in real time. That because in real time, the main concept is not solving the problem, identifying the problem. If you can identify the problem, solving you can do. Because so much help will be there around you. You can Google and get the help and solve. If you are unable to find the problem, then you cannot solve the problem. Solution finding is not a big concept. Identifying problem is big concept in software development. That always you have to keep in mind. If you found the problem correctly, then you can find the solution easily. Right? Solution finding is not big issue. Problem identification is big issue. So that is the reason, as a developer, to get perfection in software development, first understand the problem. Then solution is very easy. That means even you don't know, you can get easy help immediately. Right? That is the difference. So these all are such questions which are very frequently asked in MNC level. MNC level tasks also I will share with you. In 1-2 days, I will share some questions. Tasks means what kind of tasks they ask a practical related to UI development. I will share some with you. You practice them. If feel any difficulty, I will help them. Right? So that you can get perfection on this type of, but medium, small scale, they don't go this much level of logic. They just test your interface skills and all. So here, why it is returning a number? The concept is simple, because in a string, you defined only number. When in a string format, when you define number, this subtraction is an operator. Operator means it's an object, as I told you. This object internally contains parsing, means translating. What it can translate? Any string in the form of number, it can parse into number and find the difference. Internally do parsing. Generally for other values, we have to explicitly parse. For example, now, suppose I say A5. Will it parse? We learned parsing technique, na? We learned parsing technique. Will it able to parse this into number? It is not possible, because to parse into number, it should start with number. It should start with number. That already I told you in parsing. That means when I do this, so this is not a number. Suppose I defined as 5A, then you see here, it is also showing not a number, because it is not explicit parsing. It is not explicit parsing. It is implicit parsing. Implicit parsing means who is doing this? Minus operator is doing this internal. In implicit parsing cannot identify this also. Implicit parsing can identify only numbers. Only number. In the form of string. Implicit parsing can find only number in the form of string. That means only number in the form of string. Then, because implicit parsing cannot know where character started. That is the reason it has only number. Then you can see it returns that value. It returns that. This is one basic thing you need to know. So difference value here, what happens is string minus number. What it will return? NaN. And if it is string, so in a number form, right? String number, then minus number. Understood? String number and minus number will return a number. Will return a number. So number and Boolean. This also returns a number. Boolean and Boolean will return a number. All others not. All other operations NaN. Only these will return a number. That's important. How to handle this? So here important is so minus this is subtraction operator uses implicit parsing. Operator uses implicit parsing. Implicit parsing. So, but only for numeric representation in string format. Only for numeric representation in string format. That is actually the operator, right? Right. Next point is other operations. We have multiplication. Multiplication operator, you know that it returns the product of given numbers, right? Given numbers. And it is also same like subtraction. Same like subtraction means only number into number or number into boolean. Anything else is not a number. Number into number or number into boolean. This will return a number. This will return a number. Anything else will be not a number. All other operations NaN. So division, it returns division. Actually, it returns quotient value. Quotient value. It returns the quotient value. And this is also same, right? Number into number slash number. So of course, number slash boolean. So boolean also number. So, but here you have boolean true only, right? Because you know that you can't divide anything by zero. False. You can't divide anything by zero. It is not possible in mathematical divisions. So similarly, we have modulus. It returns remainder value. Same number slash number is equal to number. So modulus is percent. So number slash percent boolean. Boolean is number, it is true only. So these are modulus operations used for various, for example, some operations which are common. I will give a small example here. So means generally divisions and all we know, or we will implement in one example. This is nothing but modulus is nothing but suppose. So we are designing doc type HTML head. So then title some modulus. And in the body section, we have a simple option, enter even number. This is just to verify whether they are entering a proper value or not. So, and we have a button. So say submit. Now here we need to verify whether they entered a even number or not. We need to verify whether they entered a even number or not and display the message here. So ID is txt even. Okay. Now here, so button on click is equal to submit click. On submit click, so here we have to write a script and a function submit click. On submit click, we are accessing, so n is equal to document get element by id txt even dot value. And here if, so parse int, because it is a string, n divisible by 2 and the remainder is equal to 0, then it is even number. That means the value you entered is divided by 2 and its remainder is 0, then it is even number. That's a common mathematical basic. And then we will display that here where msg, so here inner document get element by id msg and msg dot inner html saying that so verified. So else we have to display msg dot inner html not an even number. These type of verifications are very common. You see, everybody will not use captchas, because suppose, so you see registration forms, login forms, actually they have captcha concept. Later I will explain that. So here captcha is nothing but completely automated test for verifying computers and humans apart. That is actually captcha. Later I will tell you detail about that. So actually it is an automated test to verify whether it is a human or computer. So it is used to tell computers and humans apart, separates computers and humans. That means it's an artificial intelligence program which will verify whether the user is human or whether user is robot. How it will verify? Because robots have certain keystrokes, robots have certain mouse movements, and humans have different. Then if the keystrokes are like that, then it thinks that it is robot and it will block. Captchas are used for that. To prevent robots, we use captcha. But captcha is a service. You have to implement it. How to implement captchas, I will show you. Later we will discuss. But everybody will not use captcha, because using captcha services are very risky again. Risky because you need an artificial intelligence program running. You need to use services additionally. To avoid that, actually, we use some simple verifications. Like you see IRCTC website. In IRCT website, they don't give captchas. They don't have captchas. In IRCTC, they say that they generate 10 plus 20, how much? 40 plus 50, how much? 4 into 5 into 4, how much? Like that, some questions are asked. Why? Because that is for the user to read, to logically calculate and write. So such type of operations are done regularly. In such case, you need such operations. That means you need such operators. That means they ask like enter an odd number, enter an even number. Suppose you see passwords are generated. Suppose you are downloading a bank statement, password is generated. Password says that first 3 characters from your name, second 2 characters from your mobile, next 2 characters from something else. You have to handle such kind of things. In that case, we need to handle these type of operators regularly. So now how you can verify whether it is an even number or not? Suppose I entered, suppose 3, then it says not an even number. And if I say 4, then it is verified. That means these kind of operations are very important. Validations are important. And that is the reason people may think like, why I need modulus division in web designing, right? These type of operations are very common. Everything, because you are dealing with computers and they have a lot of logical operations, they have a lot of numerical operations. Based on that, they can handle different scenarios. That is the reason you need such type of operators regularly. Such type of operator regularly. So this is a simple point, but it is very important. It is very commonly used, right? It is commonly used. This example I will post to you, that modulus division. So similarly, one more important, now in the latest version of JavaScript, another operator introduced, that is exponent operator. This is new from ES5 onwards. This exponent operator is new. So exponent operator is nothing but it returns the value of base raised to power. It returns the value of base raised to power. So that means we use, suppose 2 double asterisk 3. It will be 8. So actually, here we have one more option. I will tell you exponent how it works. This is one more option. This is actually math.pow. For example, see, suppose we are defining a simple one script. So document.write. I said some 2 double asterisk 3. This is the power. So this is the power value and returning that. It returns 8. But old versions cannot understand. Old versions of browser cannot understand. What they do is, so they don't understand this. That is the reason they use document.write. They use math.pow. So math.pow 2, 3 like this. Earlier we used to use like this. Now you have a operator for this. So that means both will return the same result. But this is the old version and this is the new. So that means the base raised to the power of specific. Earlier we have to use math.pow 2, 3 like this. And this is also same. This is the old version technique, and the new version have this exponent operator. It can return this. That is exponent operators. So another important we have, so increment and decrement. So increment and decrement operators. So they increase or decrease the current value with 1 and store the returned value. They increase or decrease the current value with 1 and store the returned value. That means finally result will be in the same. That means you have like, here so many are there, I will tell you. X plus plus, that means it is nothing but x equal to x plus 1. So x minus minus, that means x equal to x minus 1. Like this. That means it increments the value, current value by 1 and stores in the same reference. That means x value will be x plus 1. So already what x value is, to that it will add 1 and it will return in x, it will store in x. Here 2 points are there again. Here one important thing you should know is we have post increment. Post increment, this is x plus plus, post increment. Generally, post increment is nothing but, for example, x equal to 10. So y is equal to x plus x plus plus. X plus plus. So that is called post increment. Post increment. Then what is the value of x and y? The value of x and y. In this, what is the value of x and y? In this, y value will be 10 and x value will be 11. That is the concept of post increment. X value, y value will be 10, x value will be 11. This is what very important. That's what I said, that whatever the x value is there, it will first y. After that, then incrementation happens. X value will be first assigned to y. After that, incrementation happens. That is what we call as post increment. Assign and increment. That means x value is how much initially? 10. That is assigned to y. After that, x value is incremented by 1. That means x value will be how much? 11. That is post increment. So that means here, suppose I defined, so where x equal to 10 and where y is equal to x plus plus, document dot write, I want to print x equal to the value of x. And in the next line, so y is equal to the value of y. We are printing the value of x and y. And the value of x and y, it is going to print like this. X is 11, y is 10. So that means in the post increment, usually what happens is, post increment means it assigns and then increments. It assigns and then increments. That is called post increments. Similarly, post decrement. So it assigns and then decrements. Decrement. That means x minus minus. Now x equal to 10. So y is equal to x minus minus. What is the value of x and y now? X is how much? 9. And y is how much? 10. It is 10 because it will first assign x value to y. After that, decrements. And the decrement value will be stored inside x. That is that. Similarly, we have pre-increment. Pre-increment. So it increments and then assigns. assigns. Similarly, pre-decrement, that means it decrements and then assigns, and then assign. That means you have plus plus x. If I use plus plus x, x equal to 10, y is equal to plus plus x, then x is equal to 11, y also 11. Because first it will increment, after increment it will assign. After increment it will assign means y will be also 11. Similarly, if it is y is equal to minus minus x, then what will be? X equal to 9 and y also equal to 9. That's how it handles. So increment and decrement the values. Here now by using these operators, I will show example on increment and decrement how to handle. I will show example. So many times we will use that. For example, suppose see, we are going to deal this now with the doc type, HTML, head, title, and operators. So link relation is equal to style sheet, and href is node modules, so bootstrap icons, so and in that font bootstrap icons. I will include the bootstrap also. So link relation modules bootstrap dist bootstrap CSS. Okay. And in the body section, so let's create a div container fluid. In that we are adding some div. Okay. In this we will keep the contents. For example, we will add a header div, another div. In this class we have deflex, justify content center, align items center, like this. So height as some 400 or 500 pixel. Okay. Now in this div we have a heading. I will keep empty, or first I will design a card. So div again class as card, and div again class as card header, and heading I defined. Class I will give text center. Okay. That heading I will give an ID as title. Say prod title. Okay. Now we have another div. So the class as card body, an image. So source we are not defining. So width 100% and height some 400. And here also text center. Fine. And we have another div. So class as card footer, text center, and we have button. So in this button span class bi. So bi, so we have previous, means so left chevron. We have chevron left, chevron bar left. Okay. That is one button. So class, so BTN and BTN, some danger, something. Okay, I will copy this. And this is chevron bar right. A design for the content. So this is the design we are creating. And here I will put a heading at the top as a product details. So I'm having that product details where where it is gone. So product details. It is there. Height I will adjust there. So I will adjust the height here as margin top as 4. Okay. That is adjusted from the top. It is fine. And here I will just keep style margin top as some 200 pixel. So that will be fine. Okay. Width I will adjust something. Height we don't need this much. So width I will just, because there is no image, 400. That's okay. And the height I will give as 300, 400, fine. That will be better. Now here you have the content. Now the concept is I need to create a slideshow like appearance. So I need to create a slideshow like appearance. That means when user clicks this, next product should come, this previous product should come. Slideshow, watching all the products related information. And the products details will come from API. We will get the data from API and display. So what we will do now here is we have to fetch the API details and handle. So we will keep here a simple option now. Script, how we can get the data from API. We are writing a function, get product. This get product is expecting URL. So we have to fetch. We need fetch method. The fetch method gets the data from the URL. And fetch method have option, then it will use a callback function. This callback function will have response, and what it should return, response.json. So after that, another then callback function, it will get the data, and this data need to be presented. So it is to be presented inside this. Image have an ID as prod img. Okay. And prod title. As of now, these two are there. So we need to just display document dot get element by ID prod title. Prod title dot inner HTML is equal to data dot title. Because we know that fake store is having a property called title. Fake store data is having title. Another document get element by ID prod image. Prod image img. Prod image dot src is equal to data dot image. Okay, now what should happen is body load. So function body load. On body load, so this will call on load. On load is equal to body load. On body load, we have to call get product. And into that, we have to pass the URL. Initially, URL is http:// fake store API fakestoreapi.com/products/1. That is the API request. This API request is going to get the first product information and display. It is going to get that and display. Suppose I configured here product details. I will remove that just, and here I will just keep that. It will display. That is the product title. And you have a lot of other details. We can get a lot of other details and display the details. For example, so below this, in the card body, we have a paragraph and ID as prod description, DESC. So here we have to access document get element by ID prod DESC dot inner HTML data dot description. We have a description attribute which returns the complete description about it. Now, important is when I click next, the next product should come. And when I click previous product should come. So then how to handle this? Usually here we have to write function next click. And here we have a count. Count is initially set to variable, right? Variable count is initially set to 0. And when you click that, then count should increase by 1. Already by default, we are showing 1. Then here I will use count already start with 1. When I click next button, count plus plus. That's what increment operator we have seen just now. It will increase the count value by 1 and it will store in the count. After that, we have to use get product. In this, what is the URL? http://fakestoreapi.com/products/ here we will get the count value and store. That means it will increment and it will define it. Usually this next click should fire up when user clicks the right button. That means on click is equal to next click. So that means when user clicks the next button, the next product should come. And user clicks the next button, next product should come. So you are accessing the products and displaying one by one. It will take time for picture to load. It should come from API, right? So here the paragraph you have, suppose, so dev class is equal to some W, some 50. Then it will display like this. And we will put here text center. And it will keep the description like this center. And you can keep anywhere. That means these all content wherever you want, you can configure and define. Description you can put anywhere. That means not only here. Suppose this product description I am accessing here, style. We will keep a style here, hash prod DESC. So position as fixed. Position as fixed. And we will keep right as some 20 pixel and the top. So we will keep top. And the top we will add as suppose some 50 pixel. And it is having border as 2 pixel solid, some dark cyan, something like this. And the padding is having 10 pixel. And we have width is suppose 200 pixel, and height also 200 pixels. That means the product description will be somewhere here right side. I need to adjust the width and height because these image width and height are defined to 100%, right? So this width and height, if I can adjust image width and height. So then this is 200, this is 200. That means the image width height is small. You can keep this description anywhere you want. That means we will keep the description here. So width is this much, height is 100, width I will give as suppose easy 70. That means it will display in a small block, and I can shift this top to some 350. Then description will come 550. So the description will come at the bottom like this, right? The product description somewhere else we are showing, we are not showing there only. That means I will set here, so background color some dark cyan and the color as white. So, and some font size as some 20 pixel. These description details will come like this. I click on next product, and next product data will come here. And for that, you can keep a lot of things. That means what you can give is overflow. Overflow, if it is more content, scroll and define, and it will get a scroll bar automatically so that you can scroll and read the content about it. That means this is the next product, and this is the content information about it. So that means we are fetching the data, and I hope you know how to handle minus, right? On previous click, you know what to do now. So we have to write another function. So this is what? So this is previous click. On previous click, we have to decrement. That means count minus minus. And this should fire up when user clicks on this left bar. That means on click, this is previous click, previous click. Now you have that. So I will adjust the image height here. So width is 300, 300. Okay, fine. Yeah, little bit larger. Now it is fine. It will display that. I click on next. It will get the next product and display the product. Yeah, and I click on previous, it will get the previous product and display. It will take from API, it has to get that information. It will take some time, sometimes where we have given function. Yeah, function, right? So now you click this. So next, you will get the next product. It will take some time because APIs. And I click on previous, then it should get back to the previous. So this is navigation between the products and accessing the products and displaying. You have to write a lot of logics. So later you will see, because you have only 20 products. After that, user clicks on next, next, next. Then count increments. Then what we have to do, we have to write logic. If it is maximum length, then again set count to 0. That means again it come to first. Like that, you have to write logics. This is just to understand increment, decrement, how to move forward and back, right? There are so many logics we have to implement in this. We'll see them later. Initially, this is just to understand the increment, decrement, and how we can handle with our data, right? This is example. This is example. Now what you have to do is, now you learned operators. I will give you a small formula and a page, a small formula and a page. The formula you can Google actually. So the formula you can Google. The formula is EMI formula, right? You go Google and so here you can search for EMI formula. So you will get EMI formula. The formula for EMI. And you have to implement that. You have to achieve that functionality. Taking time. So we have this one example is there. I will upload. This is not. JavaScript. Okay, in another classroom document is there. I will upload. Example I will upload. See, this is EMI formula. EMI formula, you have to handle this formula and work with that. You see, this is the EMI formula. So you can just select it. This is EMI formula, and the formula is this. You can get so many here, and just we need the formula in this way. The formula in a simple formula way, I will show you. I will upload that. One document I will upload to you. You see, actually, yeah, this is good for you. This is the EMI formula. What it is, nothing but, yeah, this is your task. Task is you have to create EMI calculator. You have to create EMI calculator. In that EMI calculator, this is the formula. So this P is actually principal amount. R is interest rate. And N is number of periods. What you have to do is, see, I will give a design to you first. First design this, then you can design in the real world way, right? That means first you write here amount. This is actually P. Understood? Principal amount. That means this is a EMI calculator. Amount means the loan amount you want. Suppose we want to loan amount some 50,000 like this. Okay. Next, user should ask rate. Means you have to put text boxes here. Understood? You have to put text box here and you have to design. And the interest rate. Rate is actually the interest rate. So that means you have to write the interest rate. So, and interest rate is suppose 8% interest, something. And this is actually defined as R. This is actually R, interest rate. And the next option is number of terms. That means here period in months. So actually you have to define in months. Actually year. You have to calculate in months. That means year, how many years? The loan years. Here user can enter years, a text box. Year is how much? So year is suppose some 2 years or 3 years. Now when user enters all these and clicks on calculate, calculate is a button. When user clicks on this calculate button, it should show below here monthly EMI. Monthly EMI, how much? That result should come here. And for that, you have to implement this formula. Understood? You have to implement this formula. So the P indicates this principal amount. R indicates this interest rate, right? R indicates like this. I will give, yeah, this indicates interest rate. And N indicates number of periods. But actually, so this is 3. You have to calculate. So 3 means 3 years. 3 into 12. Right? That means actually 1 year into 12 months. You have to calculate for 12 months. That means you have to calculate for 12. 1 year means 12 months. That means 3 into 12. That means it will be for how many months you have to define. For every month, how much payment that you have to display. That means get these values and put in this formula, store the result in EMI and display that result here. You have to display this EMI result here. Understood? That's what you have to do. That means now you need to learn how to collect the value from text box, how to write this formula, find the result and display. So this is already I uploaded in several classroom. In my machine it is missing currently. So I will upload. So I will upload today into the classroom this as a task to you. EMI. Okay. So, and where in other, this I will create as a task assignment for you. EMI calculator. And this is the formula. And this is the diagram. EMI. Yeah. This is your task. You have to implement this and design. Okay. And if you can do this, then I will show you how we can design this in a HDFC way. HDFC bank. So they have this EMI calculator, same. The HDFC bank yesterday I showed you, they have a loan EMI calculator. And we will design that same concept in this way now, in this way. That means user can select an amount, user can select year, and user can select interest rate. Currently, I am asking you to design only these text boxes, understood? And when I click on calculate that formula, these values must be kept in that formula and result should come and display the result like this. This you have to achieve. And inside this, all general formula, general operators, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. This is a good example for dealing with arithmetic operators. Then we can go with other operators, logical, relational, how to handle them. That we'll see in our next session tomorrow, right? So tomorrow you have to do this task and submit by tomorrow, okay? Right, then tomorrow we will see some more examples with the help of other operators, right? We'll continue.